Hi, and welcome back to Cat and Dogs on Wheels. I'm Cat, here's Smokey, and here's RJ, my crew. Today I'm going to take you through the demo. My bus was really pretty easy compared to all the other bus demos I've watched. Couple reasons for that. I had absolutely no rust or anything to deal with, and it's a small handicap bus. I only had 4 seats to take out. I did the seats in one day. Just because it was easy comparatively to other buses, that doesn't mean it wasn't hard for me. But I felt very when I finished that day. Had a couple of bloody knuckles, but I was actually proud of my war wounds. I did it. I got the seats out. I started working on those bumper pad things, and that wasn't so easy, no matter how much WD-40 I used. And I thought, okay, this is a hire out. So I hired a friend of a neighbor who's a handyman guy, and I paid him $100 to take off my stop sign, my crossing guard, and those crazy ass mirrors that look back at you. It made me feel like I was running into something. And the bumper pads that I couldn't take out. So he took out, he did everything except the bumper pads and said he was going to come back the next day to do those. And I never heard from him again. He sort of disappeared off the face of the earth. So the bumper pads were back on my shoulders. I went through 2 days of torture, crawling back and forth under the bus, on top of the bus, bracing the wrench with other, jerry rig brace it so it can't move. So then I did that underneath, and I crawled back up on top and work it. And as soon as I got it to move slightly on top, the wrench would pop off underneath, and I have to crawl back under, re-brace that, come back, do it again. I was making basically no headway, and I had 6 of these bolts to do. So I came up with the bright idea, maybe I should brace it on top and try and undo it from underneath. That was not a good idea. I ended up with bruises and gashes and bumps from when you're twisting it and the wrench turns loose and you go like this. Yeah. Had a good knot on my head, smashed my elbow, funny bone. One time when I did it, I banged my head and went down and smashed my elbow on the cement. My healing knuckles were turning into open wounds. I had bruises on my forearms and on my one shin. It was a torturous day. I did a lot of crying. A lot of F me, F me. That was my tagline for 2 days. F me. So I was more prepared the second day. Second day, I had my forearms wrapped in hand towels with rubber bands. I had my one shin wrapped the same way. And I had triple bandages on all my knuckles so that everything was prepared for the next abuse. Another day of abuse playing that game. I got one of the 6 bolts, like 1/8 of an inch out. And that was it. I sort of just collapsed on my bus floor and cried. When I saw my brother and sister-in-law again, I was really pretty much a wreck. I was crying. I was frustrated. I was wounded. I was feeling like, oh my God, brick wall, and I haven't even gotten started on the build. My sweet brother-in-law came out and helped me, so we had 2 people, one on top of the bus, one underneath the bus. And with his added muscle, I think we got him out in like, maybe an hour. So with that behind me, the rest was a piece of cake. I took off the plastic runners above the windows that covered those channels. I took off the black padding that they have, you know, above the doors and in a couple other places on partial walls. Took all those out. And basically, that was it. My floor was in great shape. I mean, I got so lucky there. The underflooring was in good shape. I didn't have rust but below that. So, and the rubber was in good shape. So I just took off all the runners from the floor and the walls for the wheelchair attachments. I took those off. So now I had a flat floor. I had the base, and I figured the rubber is my insulation. It's not very good insulation, but it was the insulation I had. And I just laid my flooring over the top, so I didn't have to rip my floor all apart. So I really had a very quick, easy demo. So how did I make money on my demo? I sold my seats for $25 a piece. I only sold 3 of them because I thought I was going to use one in the bus, but I didn't. So I sold 3 seats for $25 a piece. That was with their 2 sets of seat belts on each one. Those sold the first day I listed them on Marketplace, and the person buying them wished I had more. The wheelchair lift, on the other hand, took a year. It was listed on Craigslist and Marketplace for a year. It was brand new, not a chip, not a dent. I mean, it was in perfect shape, all the belts that went with it. But the deck was too small for most adult wheelchair lifts. So I had a very limited market for that. And it took a year, but it sold, and the people who got it were tickled pink. So I made $475, but I spent $100 to get those outside things removed. So I made $375 on my bus build. Woohoo! Thanks for hanging out with me today. Next week, we will start on the build. And if you hang out for just another 20 seconds, the boys have something they want to say.